Welcome to Rising Parent, your go-to podcast for teaching a child to blow their nose. I'm your host, Edna, and Tim and I are here to support you on your incredible journey of raising children. In this episode, our guest speakers will dive deep into Tim's article on fun and effective methods to teach your little one this essential life skill. From playful games to captivating stories, we'll transform this mundane task into a joyful learning experience. So grab a tissue, sit back, and get ready to embark on a snot-free adventure.
Hey everyone, welcome back, especially to all you parents and awesome childcare providers listening. We are going to be diving deep into something today that might seem really simple at first.
Okay.
But I think you'll be surprised by just how much there is to it.
You got that right.
We're talking about teaching kids how to blow their noses.
It's one of those skills, I remember as an adult, I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember learning to blow my nose.
Right.
And then you think about how to teach it, and it's like, oh, there's actually kind of a lot to it.
There is. And we're going to be getting all of our info today from this really fantastic article called How to Teach a Child to Blow Their Nose from Rising Parent.
Yes.
Written by Tim, who, along with his partner Edna, has been working with children and families for over 20 years.
Yeah, and they are the founders of Selfless Outreach, a nonprofit mobile food bank.
Oh, very cool.
So if you want to support them,
Yeah.
go to selflessoutreach.org, hit that donate button. I'm sure they would really appreciate it. But yeah, this article is so interesting. It talks about all kinds of benefits to teaching kids to blow their noses that I don't think a lot of people think about.
Yeah, it's so much more than just basic hygiene,
It's true.
which is what we always think about. Like, oh, we're
Yeah.
teaching them to blow their nose so they're not a mess.
Right.
But it's really about setting them up for success in social situations, about making them feel good about themselves because they can take care of their own needs.
And also relieving some of the stress on you as a parent, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
no more being like the human tissue all the time.
Mm.
So, okay, we get it. Nose blowing is important. But how do we actually teach this to these tiny humans who would rather just smear it everywhere?
Right.
Well, the article really emphasizes kid-friendly explanations. No more lecturing about germs and hygiene. We have to think playful and relatable.
So, for instance, one thing you could try is explaining to your child that their nose is like a magical wind machine.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And it's blowing away all those bad guys, like all those little germs that can make us feel yucky.
I love it. I can already imagine the kids being like, more bad guys, more bad guys.
Totally. And then they're blowing their nose, they're getting rid of all those germs, and everybody's happy.
That's a much better association than like, you, that's gross.
You're sure?
Another thing the article emphasizes is the power of demonstrations.
Yeah.
Kids are visual learners, so showing them how it's done, maybe even making it a little bit silly,
Right.
can be really, really effective.
It helps them to see what you're talking about, and they're also more likely to do something if they see you doing it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly.
Now, the article also mentioned using a mirror.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, if you think about it, letting them see themselves try out these different techniques, it's not only giving them visual feedback, but it also kind of adds this element of self-discovery.
Oh, I like that.
Right. It makes it a little more engaging for them.
Yeah, like they're a scientist experimenting on themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the explanations down, we've got the demonstrations down, but let's be real. Nobody wants to have a nose-blowing battle every morning.
No, that's not fun for anybody.
And so this is where things get a little bit more fun.
Okay.
The article really emphasizes making practice fun. And they have a couple of really great games in here. What's your favorite one?
My favorite one is probably the tissue races.
Okay, tell me more.
So basically, you get a tissue and it becomes like a tiny sailboat.
Uh-huh.
And your child is trying to blow that sailboat across a table or a smooth surface, like catching the wind.
Okay, so they're learning about controlling the force of their breath without even realizing it.
Right, exactly.
I love that.
And it's a simple game, but kids really seem to get into it.
My kids would love that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Another one they mentioned is called mirror fogging.
Oh, yeah.
So
This one's great for getting those giggles out. But it's also subtly teaching them about nasal airflow control.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Because blowing your nose, it's not just about blowing hard. It's about controlling that airflow to actually clear those nasal passages effectively.
Oh, that's a really good point.
So this is a fun way for them to practice that without even realizing they're working on a skill.
It's like sneaking in vegetables.
Exactly.
They don't even know how good it is for them.
Exactly.
Okay, and then the last one is nose-blowing targets.
Oh, yeah. So this
But-
one's a classic, right? You can use stickers, draw targets on a piece of paper, whatever works.
Anything to catch their eye.
Right. And the goal is for them to blow those tissues right on target. And this one's great for reinforcing that idea of aiming their breath,
Well, that makes sense.
which, again, is key for effective nose blowing.
I love how these games take something that can be so frustrating for both the kid and the parent and just turns it into something fun and exciting.
Yeah, it really takes the pressure off and it makes it more of a shared experience, which is always a good thing when it comes to parenting, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But one question I do have, because it seems like we're using a lot of games and rewards here.
Yeah.
Are we just bribing kids to blow their noses? Like, how do we make sure this actually becomes a habit and not just something they do when there's a sticker involved?
That's a great question. And I think the key here is to create a positive association with nose blowing. So yes, we're using games, we're using rewards, but it's not just about that. It's about making the whole experience enjoyable. And when kids feel successful
Yeah?
and they have fun while they're learning, they're more likely to repeat that behavior.
Yeah, makes sense.
So those small rewards, combined with lots of praise and encouragement,
Right.
they become powerful tools in helping them develop this habit.
So we're not just bribing them, we're making them feel good about themselves while they're doing it.
Exactly.
Awesome. So instead of nose blowing being a chore, it's like a fun little challenge.
A game to be mastered.
Exactly.
And that shift in perspective can make all the difference.
I love it.
Okay, so we've talked about all these different game-like approaches to teaching kids to blow their noses.
Right. Which is so fun.
It is fun.
But I'm wondering, does every game work for every kid?
That is a really good question. And the truth is that no, not every kid is going to respond to the same game in the same way.
Right.
And that's why the article really emphasizes observing your child,
Yeah.
watching how they respond to different activities, and then kind of tailoring your approach to fit their unique personality.
Okay. That makes sense.
So, for example, if you've got a kid who loves competition, they love a good challenge, then those tissue races might be a perfect fit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. You can make it a timed race.
Oh, that's good.
You can add obstacles. You can even get other family members involved
Yeah.
just to really amp up that excitement.
Oh, I love that.
But if you have a kid who's maybe a little more imaginative, a little more into like the pretend play, then something like the mirror fogging might be a better fit. Because it's all about kind of like, transforming themselves, creating this foggy mirror. It's just a little more whimsical, a little more creative.
And still teaches them about nasal airflow control.
Exactly. They're getting those benefits without even realizing it.
Sneaky. I like it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there are the nose-blowing targets, which I think pretty much every kid loves.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all about aiming. It's about precision.
You can make it as simple or as elaborate as you want. Stickers, targets drawn on paper.
Even, like, I don't know, crumpled up balls of paper or something.
Whatever your kid is into, you can use that to create a target.
And then they get to practice aiming their breath, which, as we talked about, is so important.
It is. It's really the key to effective nose blowing.
Yeah.
And again, it's just a fun way to practice.
So we're really hitting on a lot of important points here. We're taking something that can be really frustrating. We're turning it into a game.
Right.
We're making it enjoyable for everybody.
We're also teaching kids about their bodies, about how things work.
Right.
And they're learning these valuable skills without even realizing it.
It's brilliant.
It is.
Now, the article also talks a lot about the importance of positive reinforcement.
Yes. That's so important.
So it's not just about giving them a sticker for every successful blow.
Right. It's not just about the tangible rewards. It's about acknowledging their effort.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating their progress.
Yeah, I think it's so easy as a parent to get caught up in like, okay, you got to do this, you got to do this.
Right, right.
That we forget to actually like acknowledge the fact that they're trying.
Exactly. And when you acknowledge their effort, even if they don't get it perfect right away, you're showing them that you value their hard work.
Right.
And that can be so motivating for kids.
Yeah. And you know what? I think a little praise can go a long way for parents, too.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a little pat on the back for us.
It's a reminder that we're doing something right. And, even those small successes, they can be really encouraging when we're dealing with the challenges of parenting.
So true.
So yeah, don't underestimate the power of praise, both for your child and for yourself.
Okay, so we've got all these great techniques. We're armed with positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
But what about those times when it just feels like they're not getting it? Like you're on your 10th tissue of the day.
Right.
You're starting to get a little bit frustrated.
I think the key in those moments is to remember that every child learns at their own pace.
Okay.
Some kids are going to pick this up really quickly.
Yeah.
Others are going to need more time. They're going to need more practice.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
The important thing is to be patient, to be consistent.
Okay.
Keep those practice sessions short and fun.
Uh-huh.
And don't get discouraged if they don't master it overnight.
It's such a good reminder that we live in this world where everything is instant.
Right.
And we just expect our kids to be like little instant learners.
Right.
But that's not how it works.
It's not. And I think it's important to remember that for ourselves as parents as well,
Yeah.
because we're always learning too.
So true. So it's about trusting the process.
It is.
And focusing on those little victories along the way.
Exactly.
And celebrating those.
Yes,
Every day.
absolutely. Celebrate those little wins.
You know, this whole conversation has really got me thinking about how many things we try to teach our kids.
Right.
And how many times we end up kind of in this power struggle.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's getting dressed, brushing their teeth, cleaning up their toys.
It's a constant battle, right?
It can be.
It can be.
But I'm thinking, what if we could apply this same kind of playful approach
I love that idea.
to all of those things? Like,
It's about shifting that perspective, right?
yeah.
Instead of viewing these things as chores, what if we viewed them as opportunities for connection, for growth,
Yeah.
for fun?
For fun. Exactly. And it's not just about making our lives easier as parents.
Right.
It's about helping our kids develop these essential skills.
Right. Exactly.
Creativity, problem solving, independence.
We're giving them the tools to navigate the world with confidence and with
Yeah.
a sense of joy, which I think is so important.
I love that.
So yeah, let's rethink those everyday battles.
So instead of nagging my kids to brush their teeth, what if we had a toothbrush dance party?
I love it.
Or instead of yelling at them to pick up their toys, we have a toy sorting championship.
You're getting it. You're already thinking like a pro.
I'm trying.
And that's what we want to encourage in our listeners.
Yeah.
To tap into that inner child, to get creative,
Yes.
to find those moments of joy, even in the midst of the chaos.
Yes. I love that.
It's about remembering that even those seemingly mundane tasks, they can be opportunities for connection,
Right.
for fun.
And for learning.
Exactly. And when we approach it with that mindset, we're not only making our lives easier, but we're also creating a more positive and engaging environment for our children to thrive in.
So it's a win-win.
It is. It's a win-win for everyone.
I love it. Now, before we move on to our final thoughts, I just wanted to remind our wonderful listeners to subscribe to our podcast and share this episode with anyone who might find it helpful.
Yes, please do. We would love to hear from you and see how you're using these ideas in your own lives.
And I am ready to put some of these ideas into practice.
Me too. I'm feeling so inspired.
I think this whole idea of turning everyday tasks into games is so brilliant. And like you said, such a game changer.
It really is.
Because it doesn't have to stop at nose blowing.
Right. This is a philosophy that you can apply to so many different areas of parenting.
Like potty training,
Yes.
getting dressed,
Absolutely.
brushing teeth, cleaning up toys. I mean, it's endless, really.
The possibilities are truly endless.
And I love the example you gave earlier about the kid who struggles with getting dressed.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of nagging them, rushing them out the door.
Which never works.
Never works. You turn it into a game, like a dress-up relay race.
Exactly. Or a superhero costume challenge.
And suddenly getting dressed is fun.
Right. And not only is it fun, but they're also learning.
Yes.
They're developing those skills of independence, problem solving, creativity.
And they're building their confidence because they're like, hey, I did this myself.
Exactly. And when they feel good about themselves,
Yeah.
they're more likely to want to do it again.
Right. So big takeaway for all of our amazing listeners out there.
Yes.
How can they actually start putting these ideas into practice at home?
Well, I think the first step is observation.
Right.
Really pay attention to your child.
Uh-huh.
What are they interested in? What motivates them? What kind of games do they enjoy playing?
Yeah, what are those little things that make their eyes light up?
Exactly. And then use that information to create activities
Right.
that are going to capture their imagination and make learning fun.
So it's about being intentional,
It is.
about really thinking about your child as an individual. and not just applying some cookie-cutter approach.
Every child is unique, and they're going to respond to different things in different ways.
That's so true.
So yeah, observe your child, get creative.
Yeah, get creative. And don't forget to have fun with it.
Oh yeah, that's the most important part. Let your inner child out.
Yes, because if you're not having fun, they're not going to have fun.
Exactly.
And that defeats the whole purpose.
It does.
So to wrap up this incredible deep dive on teaching kids to blow their noses.
A skill that, as we've learned, is so much more important than we might have thought.
It is. It's about hygiene. It's about health. It's about confidence.
It's about independence.
And it's about connection.
Yes.
And the key to success is to make it fun.
Absolutely. Turn it into a game. Use playful language.
And just shower those little ones with encouragement every step of the way.
And remember, every child is different.
Yeah.
Be patient, observe their interests, and tailor your approach to their unique personalities.
You've got this, parents and caregivers.
You do.
That's all for this week's deep dive. We hope you enjoyed it.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of parenting.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.